Are you considering buying rental properties and managing them on your own? Stay tuned for 5 things to consider before putting your landlord hat on. Hi, I'm Veronica Woods from Daniel Woods Real Estate Company, where we help our clients avoid making 5- and 6-figure mistakes when it comes to buying and selling real estate in the Philadelphia area. Now, if you're new to watching these real estate wisdom blog videos, thank you, welcome. I'm always publishing a new video each week. It's always on a topic related to home ownership, getting started in real estate investing, and what's really going on in the local Philadelphia real estate market. Wherever you're watching this video, please engage with me, hit like, leave a comment, and if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. The subscribe button will let you know first when the next video is published. Many people dream of owning their own rental properties and having that check in the mail each month, almost like magic, but they don't pay enough attention to thinking about how they're going to actually manage the tenants and the toilets. So in this video, I'm going to share some key things to consider before you take on the task of managing your own rental properties. For many investors who make the decision to self-manage, it's mostly a cost one. They think by managing on their own, they're able to lower their costs. But before you jump into managing your own rental properties, it is important for you to know what's actually required of you beyond just collecting the monthly check at the end of the month or the beginning of the month. So in this video, as a person who talks to new investors who are thinking about managing on their own, I always tell them there are a number of things they should ask themselves first. So with this video, I'm going to review 5 questions that you should ask yourself before managing your own rental properties. Question number 1 is, how will you screen your tenant applicants? Now, with experience, you will find out that the pain of a bad tenant is actually much worse than the pain of a vacant apartment. So that's why it's important in order to attract or get quality tenants, and as well as protect yourself from lawsuits, that you develop a consistent process to screen your tenant applicants. And this goes way beyond checking to see if they have a pulse, checking their hand, and bags packed, ready to move in your building tomorrow. You want a quality tenant that's able to pay your rent and as well as able to maintain the condition of your property. To do that, you're going to have to establish some criteria for yourself in terms of what's the income is going to be required. What kind of credit rating do you want? What is their rental apartment history? These are all some things that you can start with in order to have set criteria to evaluate each applicant. Now, I'll tell you, it's not a science. It's often time consuming, and even the best of us make mistakes from time to time. This is an area, however, you should think about outsourcing if you're trying to keep costs down and just do a one-off hiring a realtor to find a tenant for you. This is probably an easy way to do so. The second question is, what lease will you use? Now, I can break that down into 2 parts. One, is the lease agreement current? So I know a lot of investors share leases amongst themselves. Now, that's a great place to start, but you want to make sure that it's up to date as well as relevant for the location of your particular property. Getting a hold of the state's National Association of Realtors lease contract template is always a good idea. It's always current, and they have attorneys looking at it from every angle every year, making sure it stays that way. The second part to the lease question is, you need to understand what's in the lease. Read the lease. I can think of a number of times when I've worked with sellers who weren't sure what was in their lease, even though those lease terms had financial implications to what they can do with the property. So just understand that the lease is there to protect you, and it's only as valuable if you actually understand what you're signing up for with your tenant. Question number 3 is, what will your maintenance process be? There's survey after survey that show that maintenance really causes the biggest headaches for landlords. And it also, one of the biggest fears that a lot of new landlords have is around, how am I going to manage the repairs? Now, there may be some repairs that you can do on your own if you're handy and if they're small, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to assemble a team of contractors. And I recommend you do that before you need them, not when you need them. And the main people you'll need are a plumber, a HVAC guy, and a general handyman. It's important to note that your tenants are not going to want to wait until you get off work or the weekend for you to go in and tackle a repair problem. So it's important that you have this team in place so that you can be responsive and, again, meet the terms and obligation of your lease. One added tip is to pick repair people who are more used to working with investors and rental properties versus general home remodelers. They're going to tend to help you be cost effective in your repairs, at the same time performing the work at a high quality. Question number 4 is, what are your legal requirements? Pennsylvania is actually considered to be a tenant-friendly state. Rent Cafe did a study, ranked them 18 out of 50 in terms of tenant friendliness. And the housing laws are becoming more complicated every year in regard to managing rental properties. So in Pennsylvania, we have to be concerned about things such as lead-based paint inspections for kids under 6, how to deal with emotional support animals, what are the correct process and timelines to get rid of bad tenants. We even have to worry about the proper timelines to get rid of abandoned belongings from tenants. So there's a lot of things on the plate to be concerned with. This is another area where you may want to outsource, or at least have a good attorney on hand when problems arise, so that you'll be able to move forward with your rental business if one of these issues occurs. The 5th question you should ask, the last one I'll cover on this video, is, are you prepared to treat your rental properties as a business? Providing a home, an apartment for a family is a business. You're going to be forced to make business decisions, not emotional ones driven by the stories and the life drama of your tenants. You're going to have to create processes. You're going to have to budget. You're going to have to continuously evaluate your business partners, your vendors. You may have to make a tough financial decision to make repairs or to start an eviction proceedings for a tenant family during the winter time. Are you ready to do so? Now, entrepreneurship or business is not a great fit for everyone. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think the important thing is for you to kind of look your own self in the mirror and decide whether you are fit to be a landlord, or it's best for you to pay someone else to manage your property. In summary, to do a good job at managing your own rental properties, you need to establish clear processes, assemble a good team, and have the right mindset. I can't emphasize the mindset portion enough. You really need to take inventory of your own strengths and weaknesses as a business person or as a person, and then really evaluate the amount of time commitment that you can make to this endeavor. It's important to note that you can still self-manage and outsource portions of the job. Like, it makes totally logical sense, and a lot of people do end up outsourcing portions of the job they're not fit for or they don't have the time to do. So in summary, thank you for watching another real estate wisdom video. Again, I'm Veronica Woods from Daniel Woods Real Estate Company. If you enjoyed watching this video or have comments about this video, please hit the like button, list your comments below. Love to read them. I always try to respond to them as soon as I see them. And as always, keep connected. I will be putting out a new video next week. And if you're interested in content about keeping more money in your pocket when you're buying and selling real estate, keep watching.